Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Rayne Movement. I'm Bailey Rayne and we're gonna have a little pep talk. I don't know what else to call it. I wanna have a conversation around this and yeah, let's just dive right in. First, let's take a look at Tallulah. Oh, she's like right there. Let's see if I not mess up my camera. Okay. So let's have a little talk about starting over. Starting over. I feel like, I know me personally, and I feel many people in their lives right now are at a place where you're literally starting over. Clean slate in all aspects, or maybe just one aspect. So maybe you're going through a divorce or a separation. Maybe you're don't have a home, or losing your home, or sold your home and you don't know where you're going next. Job, maybe you lost your job, or you're feeling just not in alignment with your job anymore and you really just want to leave it and you don't know what that looks like or what you're gonna do with yourself, and it's really, really scary. That's the key word, scary, scared, fear. All of these things are scary. Why? Because it's unknown. We literally don't know what we're going to do next. And we are so programmed to always have a plan, always have things lined up, always have your next, when you're in high school, they're saying, where are you going to go to college? What's your 10-year plan, your 5-year plan? And as I've aged and now coming into my early mid-30s, I'm like, I don't know what next year's going to bring. So anyways, so there's always this expectation that we need to know what we're doing. On social media, people look like they have their lives together and everything's perfect. And actually, I'm going to segue for like 2 seconds on this point exactly. So let's hope my brain brings us back to what I'm trying to say. But let's talk about this like social media thing. No matter how authentic you are, there are people that are still feel like you're inauthentic because they're looking for you to put on like this show or this like to advertise when you're being emotional or sad. I'm sorry, if I'm going through a heaviness in my life, the first thing that pops into my head is to isolate, to be with myself, to be with my emotions, to be with my body, give myself the tools that I need, not go pick up my phone and film the fact that I'm crying. But that's just me. Some people are really good with that. So social media can be a front, and I can be considered one of those people that it looks like my life's together, but in the background, there's a lot going wrong or falling apart and all of those things. So really keep that in mind. So don't judge yourself based on what other people are posting or what fronts they're putting on. Who's close to you will know the truth. And that's really all that matters. And you share what you feel called to share with the world. I feel called to share what I've learned or the tools that have helped me when I'm in the depths of my emotions or things are crumbling. And that's why I wanted to make this video, just to give you a little bit of a pep talk, because everything I mentioned in the very, very beginning about all these things maybe falling apart in your life, they have all fallen apart in my life. And yet I still choose to live in fun, in joy, in happiness. The only thing I feel I personally bump up against is abundance and self-worth. Because when your world collapses and everything falls apart, your worthiness kind of does go with that. And your self-doubt, your Did I make the right choices? And those thoughts will literally eat you alive. Literally, it ate me alive to a point where I was sobbing until I was physically throwing up about 3 weeks ago. So we don't want these limiting beliefs to get to a point where they disable us from being able to move forward, because that's all they are. They're thoughts that are not real, and they're limiting beliefs that are telling us that we aren't good enough. We are in our 30s, 40s, 50s, and our lives have completely crumbled. What is wrong with us? How are we ever going to get our shit together? Pardon language, but this though is all, it's not true. These are all things that were pushed onto us to believe, and now we convinced ourselves that we're not worthy because we are starting over. And it is okay to start over. Honestly, it's beautiful. I listened to this podcast and I put this in a TikTok video. I might have put it on all of my social media, but anyways, I listened to this podcast that said, when you're in a place of like complete collapse, that's when all the infinite possibilities are there. When you're in a death, there's all these possibilities that are there. You're not just like locked in to this one. So when you have a good job, you're not thinking about other possibilities. You're locked in with that, right? When you have a home that you love, you're not thinking about moving or changing your home because you're locked in. You have a home that you love. Same with a relationship. You could be with a partner that's safe and secure, or maybe not. But in your mind, you've put all this time and dedication, you're locked in, you don't see beyond that. You don't see the possibilities beyond that, that maybe you are worthy of more, maybe there is more out there, you're just seeing that, right? So when we're in this like, what do you want to call it? Like, complacent place. We don't see all our possibilities. But when these things that we felt we had control of, that we're settled and secure, collapse, whether you chose for it to happen or not, now we have fear because there's this unknown. We had the security of seeing this one thing, but now we can see multiple things. We can see multiple possibilities. And so I want to remind you of your worth. Do not forget your worth. This is what I'm working on right now. I feel emotional even talking about it. I have always said in these videos, I'm in this with you, unless I'm doing like a yoga class or whatever. But these conversation videos, like I try to be authentic, to keep you in the know a little bit of where I'm at. And even though I do choose to be more in this joy place and see the positive, sometimes the negative freaking overwhelms. It just overwhelms and it takes over. And so that's exactly where I'm at right now. And I even just thought the other day about my worthiness around the fact that I only want to have like a donation-based center or donation-based classes to offer to those. And I actually had like something click that the reason why I only want donation-based things to offer is because I don't feel worthy. The only reason why I offer on YouTube free classes for the world is because I don't honor my worthiness. And you might feel the same way. And it is beautiful to come from a place of karma, right? Karma yoga. And I will never not believe in that. And I will always want to give back to the community, offer where I can. But also, at what point am I kind of pushing onto myself, well, why would people pay, or it's like the programming, why would people pay for me to teach? Like, who am I to be offering this or that? And that is so not true. I have spent 500 hours on learning. I have studied. I have done my Reiki 3 Masters. I have read books and listened to podcasts, and then scratch all of that, just learned what works and what doesn't, and what tools to share with others that have helped me through really tough times. And so this is a tool. If you're in a hole, and it does not matter if you've put yourself in that hole or if it's just life put you in this hole and it feels like it's dark and you are scared and you're crying all of the time and you're angry and you get triggered when things are working out for people. First, just take a breath. And a true breath. So maybe you need to get out of your house. Maybe you need to go somewhere beautiful for a minute to breathe, to clear your mind. I literally went to a different state. I was like, I need to go home. I need to be around family. I need to be at the beach. Like, the beach was calling me, the salt water, the open space, the clearing. I mean, you can see in most of my videos, I'm in the mountains. So I was like, I have to get out of here. I have to, for my well-being. And I actually recognized that and I took action. Okay, so if you're in a hole, where can you put yourself that's going to allow you to breathe, like truly breathe for a moment? What place or environment is going to make you feel safe to move forward or plan your next steps? We can't just stay in this place of self-pity, self-loathing, that hitting yourself, right? Or this, what am I going to do next? And grasping. That was my problem. I'm like, I got to figure out what I'm going to do next. I need to figure out where I'm going to live. What am I going to do? I'm like, la, 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 to a point where it literally drove me insane. I'm still not sure if I'm sane yet. But, well, none of us are sane. But that's besides the point. So I knew I could have either A, stayed where I was and kept being in this fight or flight, or I could put myself in a place that's going to stabilize and regulate my nervous system for a little while and then move forward from there. And so I highly recommend, if you're going through a tough time, put yourself in a place that's going to regulate you. Whether that means you need to hang out with friends, you need to go see family, you need to put yourself by a waterfall or a beach or something beautiful where for a moment you can close your eyes and just be. Just be. Because you are too wrapped up in what's going on right now in order to move forward. You need to remember, how can you just be? And once you find that, how can you trust yourself? How can you trust yourself and your tools and your capabilities to move you forward? It's not a time for giving up. It's not time to beat yourself up. It's a time to trust yourself and trust Source, God, universe, whatever you want to say, Mama Gaia, to support you. It is a co-creation. And when you take the time to put yourself in a place where you can actually be and breathe and be still with yourself, those things can meet you. And then with that co-creation, you can move forward. And if you did mess up, if you did do something that put you in this place, you have to forgive yourself. And forgiving yourself means you're probably gonna cry and mourn that version of you that put you in that place, but you gotta pick yourself up and keep going. My dad said a beautiful thing that I wanna share at my grandfather's funeral. He said, my dad prayed, and he prayed and put things in God's hands, and he took action, and he opened his home for a place for somebody in need, and he showed up for whatever it might be. So you need to do that for yourself as well. It's like, find a place where you can be still and de-stress. Even if it costs money you don't have, it is necessary for you. Put yourself in that place. Be still. Pray. And now what? From this place of calmed nervous system, now what? I'm not giving up on myself. I know I am worthy. I know I am capable of moving forward. Now what? And while you're doing that, your limiting beliefs are going to keep wanting to pull you back every time. And every time that happens, you have to sit, you have to recognize it. Don't feed it more energy. Don't, feed it your attention. Don't feed into it. I keep wanting to say feed, but it's like this negative entity that's feeding off of you. It's really quite disturbing if you think about it. So just don't give it your attention, recognize it, ask yourself why. We recently did a sound bath where I was like, ask yourself why. Why? There's a therapy technique of the 7 layers of why. Why do I have this belief? Come up with an answer. Well, why do I have that answer? Come up with an answer. Well, then why? Where did that come from? Give that an answer. It's really fascinating when you break that all down, really break it down, sit with whatever emotions come up with it. You might cry, you might get angry, you might get nervous, shaky, whatever it is. Go through all those steps so that you can find the root cause and move forward and say, no, that doesn't have power over me. That might not even be mine. That could be my mother's or my father's or my grandmother's or grandfather's, a past thing that you were hearing that programmed you to believe this moving forward in your life. One of the biggest programmings is this, like, what are you going to be when you grow up? What is it? It's not like there's one thing. You can be many things. You can have many, I always say I have like many past lives in my work. I've been a server, I've been a hostess, I've worked in a store, I've been in banking, then I got my certification in teaching, now I do filming. I also have 28 years of ballet and dance background, and I have had a modeling and acting background. I have many past lives because we all change all through our lives. And so right now, something might have completely crumbled or collapsed for you, but gosh, this is a whole other life you get to live. Who do you want to be? Like, it's exciting. It's fucking terrifying, but it's exciting too. It's so exciting. And let the excitement guide you. What lights you up? What makes you happy? Truly happy. Maybe you lived a life where nobody even asked you. What would you like to do? What would make you happy? Has anyone asked you? Where would you like to live? Where would you like to go visit? Are you happy doing what you're doing? This is where I'm at, and these are questions that I'm like, holy crap, I get to ask myself, where do I want to be? Well, I know what I want to do, but like, where do I want to live? What do I want to live in? How do I want to decorate my space? What vibes? Like, when you're constantly around others or creating something with others, at what point do you lose yourself? Like, do you lose your creativity or what you wanted to create? This is even in a work environment. If you're in a corporate industry, let's just say, that wants and expects a specific thing from you, you've completely disconnected from, like, well, what's my creativity? What would I do with this landscaping? Or how would I talk with the customers? Like in banking, it's like you had to talk to them a specific way, or they wanted you to do the scripting. I'm not a script person. You can ask any of my former managers. I am a resistant employee. It's like I have my way that I feel that's safe in my nervous system. It's not being inauthentic to who I am, and that's how I approach people. But we get so brainwashed because I could just go on and on and on with this, and I don't want to do that to you guys. And I think this is the most like extra I've been in a video. Like there's some words that have slipped, but it's so important. And I just think there's a lot of people in a place that I'm in right now of just this deep unknown, and you're freaking scared and you know you need to make a change. Make the change. Listen to your intuition. I've said this in a couple of hiking videos recently. You know, but you need to get yourself out of fight or flight stress mentality. Put yourself somewhere safe. Whatever safety means to you, that means something different to every single person. Put yourself that you know you're safe and regulated. Be, pray, and. What's next? A whole new fresh start. So let's just bring your hands to your heart for a moment. Feel your heartbeat. Do not close your eyes if you're driving. Infinite possibilities. What is your and? What's going to move you forward? You can do this. You can do anything. You can start over in any situation, at any age. You are capable. And I don't even know you, but I believe in you. I believe in every single person on this planet that they are capable to succeed in anything they are going through. They are capable of making their way out. So can you, so can I. I can do this. And say that together. I can do this. I can do this. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh out your mouth. You can do this. I love you. I know this is a lot more detailed than I've ever been, I think, on social media. So I hope it helps you, and I hope you know that you're ready. You're ready. So don't forget to like and subscribe and support the channel in any way you would like to. But yeah, I will see you all very, very soon. Keep moving towards your healing.